Well, it is 4:30 according to the clock on the computer here, and that would seem to mean we are now live on Facebook for Thursday. It is May 28th, and for those of you who were watching yesterday's show, you could also think of this as round 72. If you didn't see yesterday's show, then you won't understand what that means, but you can go back and watch the show from Wednesday, Midweek with Mom. You'll understand what round 72 means. So I have a little drawing to show you here. I'm not an artist by any means, so this is not a piece of art. It's kind of it's a kind of a chart or a graph that I copied off of a website that I saw. I wonder if you can guess what it is. It is basically a chart of the coronavirus cases in New Jersey, starting way over here, is way back in March, before anything really got bad, and then of course it really did get bad and was plateaued off for a while there, and then came down pretty heavily, not all the way down to zero where it started, but down pretty far, so the daily numbers of cases are much lower, hospitalizations much lower, that type of thing. So that's really something to be thankful for. But as I was looking at that graph, one of the things that struck me is that it kind of looks like a mountain. And so that got me thinking about some scriptures related to mountains, particularly moving mountains, which seems at its face to be, hey, Gail, it'd be a pretty tough thing to do, moving a mountain. But according to the Bible, it can happen. Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 22 says, Jeremiah says, I looked on the mountains, and behold, they were quaking, and the hills moved to and fro. And then Zechariah, a prophet you don't hear from as much, but Zechariah 14, verse 4, it says, in that day his feet will stand on the Mount of Olives, which is in front of Jerusalem on the east. And the Mount of Olives will be split in its middle from east to west by a very large valley, so that half of the mountain will move toward the north and the other half toward the south. That's going to be a sight to behold, huh? Revelation chapter 6, verse 14, the Apostle John is getting a vision, and this is part of his vision. He says, the sky was split apart like a scroll when it is rolled up, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. So these are really powerful visions, ideas of what God can do through his power to move mountains. But we also want to consider this. Jesus said in Matthew 17, verse 20, for truly I say to you, if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you will say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move, and nothing will be impossible for you. So I relate that to this mountain in the sense that we know that God has helped us to get to the other side of this mountain for sure. We know that the things that we did, hey Ed, in terms of practices we put into place, hand washing and social distancing and face masks and all those things helped to bring these numbers down. But I also think, hey Sandra, that I also think that our prayers were part of this mountain being moved. I think that we have the ability by our prayers, Jesus said we did, to move mountains. And I think we've helped each other by our prayers and by our diligence to move with God. We always want to be in line with what God's doing when he's moving. And so this song is about a move of God that can move mountains, and it's called This Is a Move. It goes like this. Mountains are still being moved. Strongholds are still being loosed. God, we believe. Yes, we can see it. Wonders are still what you do. And bodies are still being raised. And giants are still being slain. God, we believe. Yes, we can see it. That wonders are still what you do. We are here for you. Come and do what you do. We are here for you. Come and do what you do. Set our hearts on you. Come and do what you do. 'Cause we need a move. We need a move. Miracles happen when you move. Healing is coming in this room. Miracles happen when you move. Heaven is coming. This is a move. 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 We need a move. We need a move. So God can still move mountains. Hey, Liz. God can still move mountains. He is still moving mountains. And He is gracious enough to include us in His plans. When He gets ready to move a mountain, He tells us, like Jesus did, if you have faith, and if you put your prayers towards moving that mountain, you'll see it move. So we thank God that we're looking at this kind of a mountain that rose up in our midst with so many cases, so many people being ill. And by God's grace, by the hard work of many medical professionals, and by the prayers of all God's people, we're on the other side of that mountain, and that's where we want to stay. So let's keep praying for continued diminishing of this virus and its impact in the world around us. And let's celebrate God's goodness in moving this mountain out of our lives. And so thank you for stopping in to share this moment with me today. I'll be back tomorrow to finish up this Friday, this week, with a couple of thoughts. And I hope you'll join me. Stay safe. Thank God for His goodness. I love you guys. Talk to you tomorrow.